Like
I
what?
have another.
Should be higher?
Higher, yeah.
We could do that. We could simulate high.
Just get a couple of magazines. A few mags. I feel like everyone back home would appreciate seeing this video.
A little bit higher. How's that? It's actually videotaping it now. Now it's like crooked. Okay. I think that's right about there.
Taping.
It is taping. I feel like it's crooked. Is it me or is it crooked?
It is a little bit crooked.
Which
is interesting,
fix that.
considering magazines aren't exactly on different levels.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, we could always edit this later. I don't know. This is an attempt at...
Cheers.
Oh, where's my drink? I'm going to put it here because I know I'm going to spill it, but cheers. Aussie. I'm learning how to say Aussies. Okay, I guess...
Oh, look, it's Eric Banner.
My name is Ray, and this is Gumnut.
Hello, Ray.
How's it going, Gumnut? I'm just figuring out what Gumnut is. Explain to me again what Gumnut is. Because I know this whole concept of Gumnut.
Okay, so growing up, there was these characters called the Gumnut
Is
babies.
this like a cartoon, or these were real people?
No, they're cartoon characters.
Okay.
And these little babies that would dress up in these Gumnut outfits. And they had like the little nut thing on the head and a little leaf.
Okay.
And you could see their bums. And Mum would call me Gumnut Bottom when I was little, which is where
the term, and it kind
my
of
little
stuck.
buns,
Oh.
like the characters, like the little buns.
So
of the characters.
everyone called you Gumnut because of this.
And then I was on Facebook and noticed how everyone was changing their middle name, and because Mum used to call me Gumnut so much, it was kind of like my nickname.
So you always had to pick something. I never changed my middle name on Facebook. I don't know if that.
It kind of ran with it.
Okay, so there you go. That's going to be your blog, like gumnut.com.
Yeah,
It probably
that's
exists.
it.
Or you're probably
No, I got it. I've got it. It's gumnut1 at tumblr.com.
Oh, okay. So what is that again? Just, we'll post that like there. It's
Actually, I don't even think it's at.
I don't think it's at. We'll look that up in a little bit, I guess. Or you can pull it up right there. So, you're in New York, and how's that treating you?
It's good. Well, New York and Staten Island.
You're like really bored. Like you're just like going crazy here in New York.
Going off.
Today's
like a frog in a sock. Going nuts.
You're gonna like go ballistic. I'm hiding all like all sharp objects and weapons.
Actually, I tried to find a knife today in your house.
I hid a lot of them. I don't know if
Do
you
lock
found
the drawers?
No, they're just...
I was like, what the fuck? There's so many spoons and so many forks in the kitchen.
That's pretty much it.
America's ghetto. You can't leave knives in your kitchen. Like, you've got to hide them.
Like, I know these Aussies, they ever... I always think of that movie, Crocodile Dundee. You call that a knife?
This is a knife.
That's a knife. Our knives are hidden over here. We kind of, we conceal our knives in the U.S. We're always packing.
Because you just don't know who's going to roll through that front door and
pretty much
potentially stab you. And then with the laws over here, it's like...
It's bad.
You take the robber to court, and then you go to court, and then if you actually do something to him, then it...
kind of like just dump them in the East River.
Just chop them up into little pieces.
You gotta call your friends, and they'll say, yo, we got a body to... We really don't want to put that...
Take them up the road to the smelly dump that you guys have.
Is it that bad?
Actually, people had said that... No, everyone said that it was going to be bad, and I can't even smell it.
And who told you this, by the way? I'm just curious.
People from LA.
They know about the dump.
Everyone. I think everyone does.
Oh, man. It was bad. It was really bad, especially in the summer. But they closed down the dump officially. They said you can only do so much dumping on Staten Island. They shut it down. I honestly don't know where the rest of the garbage goes to. But, yeah, so...
The mob would take care of it anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you've had some adventures here. When did you come into the U.S.?
So I got into the U.S. I left Melbourne on the 6th of March.
March 6th. And what made you leave on that day? Because I don't know if you know the whole story. I think a lot of people want to hear the whole story of why you left.
So, why I left Melbourne or why I left on that date?
Not necessarily that date, because I know you were talking about why you left. You were looking to get out of...
I was looking for a change.
And did you plan this change?
Yes.
You did, so you saved up money. Yes. I was curious. I just figured, you just took whatever you had and said, I'm going.
No, I travelled to America last July and fell in love with the country and fell in love with the person that I'd become while I was away. And I've never been happier.
Wow, that is so weird.
And then I got back to Melbourne. I was on like this massive high for like 2 months, and I was, had all these crazy ideas for nights that I wanted to run at clubs, and I wanted to buy an apartment and do this, that, the other, and had taken on too much, and then everything kind of came crashing down, and I was just like, what am I doing? What am I doing?
Who came crashing down?
I
the
did.
Economy, or you did?
I did.
Yes.
Not the economy in Australia. It's doing quite well.
It's probably better than in here right now. And then you came here.
And then, I got to a point where I was like, right, am I going to go follow my dream, or am I going to go and, continue working my ass off and buy a property and so-called set myself up for my future? And I knew that there was definitely more potential for me. The house will come later, whatever.
But do you think, in this day and age, that there is a future anymore? I feel like everyone, will save up money and do the right things, and then it could be taken away in an instant,
Yeah. And that's been proven, especially over here with the economy, that everyone put all their life savings and investments, and the banks fucked them over, and then before you know it...
So the answer is to live life?
Live life.
Live life, no matter what.
Go and do it. Live with no regrets. Go out there and follow your passion, follow your heart, whatever it may be. You'll find your happiness when you're following your passion.
That's weird.
Yeah.
It's true. I think I 100% agree. I just think that it's scary. It's not easy. You could do all the right things in this world, and boom, everything just
goes. That's like, look, eventually at some stage it's like, I understand those that are having families and want to set themselves up, and they're thinking about their kids and that,
you
right?
You are so different. You don't have all that.
But stuff. I don't want all of that. That's not where my focus is right now. My focus is to get out there and experience as much as possible and see the world, and that's character building for me. And eventually when I do settle down, and if I have a family and I have kids, that I've got this wealth of knowledge that I can then pass down to them in life experience.
They're going to know more than you. They're going to have Wikipedia. Say, Mom, you're wrong.
Nah, but you can't. Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
They're going to be programming to say, Mom, you're so old-fashioned. You saw the world?
Seriously, Mom?
I just saw the world. I went to every place you went to.
Mom, I just teleported myself to Spain in 2.5 seconds, and you spent $2,500 on a fucking airfare from Melbourne, you crazy bitch.
Let's go back to Melbourne, Mom. It's I'm so upset. Why did you move? We would have been all Melbourne. We would have been set up. But now you're in the U.S. Is it everything you thought it would be?
Yes.
And no. Because
everything's great. I left Melbourne because I wanted to be challenged, and
were you challenged?
I'm definitely being challenged. I'm most certainly being challenged and pushing my feelings and emotions to all new levels.
I'm not going to play any of my songs for you anymore. Yeah, I don't want to see if you cry.
Ray made me cry.
I'm going to make you cry. I'm going to be like Barbara Walters. I want you to cry right now. Then we're going to post it. And one more. The wine is not finished yet, so let's see if we can get you to cry. But so far, what is the most interesting story you have to tell about being in America that we could tell without any?
I don't think people want to know.
Okay, the second most interesting.
The second most interesting
thing that happened. So there was a first interesting thing. We're going to talk about that after.
Yeah, no, that's a story that can only be told to selected people.
Okay.
It's kind of funny. The most interesting. There's too many. You need to be a little bit more specific.
Specific. Oh wow. Wow, my life really sucks at that point. I wish I had that.
Do you know, probably, I mean, I suppose to some people, the whole journey, pretty much everything I've done has been amazing. I've met the most amazing people along the way.
You know what interests me, like, when you tell me these stories, and one thing that stuck out was when you do these solo missions. Where'd you get that idea for doing solo missions?
Okay, so the last time I was in America, I came over here with 3 other girls. You haven't heard this story. This is the story.
Oh yeah, that's right.
This is where it all began.
I heard parts of this story.
So I came to America with these 3 other girls that I'd met through a close girlfriend of mine, because I was like, I'm going to go to America, and she was like, don't go on your own. I know some girls that are going over for this Zumba conference.
Did you ever meet these girls before?
I met one of them a couple of weeks beforehand.
Okay. And did you
and
hit
the
it
other
off?
2 girls, yeah, she was cool. She was cool, whatever. And the other 2 girls I met when I got over here. And these girls turned out that I ended up working out about 10 days into the trip that they suffered from depression and anxiety. And one of the girls lost her suitcase, which had a medication in it, and it was... Anyway, I had a hard time with these girls, so when I was in Orlando and they were at this Zumba conference and they were dancing long hours...
So Zumba people get very depressed. That's basically...
right, yeah.
Nothing against Zumba. I don't know. We're going to get sued by Zumba.
Yeah.
Just these few select Zumba.
They were just jealous bitches, and they were just in head, whatever, and I was getting quite frustrated because I didn't really have anyone to hang out with. They weren't particularly being so welcoming to me. And when I was in Orlando, I was like, do you know what? I'm in America. I've been dying my whole life to come over here. I'm not going to...
This is the first time you were in America?
So, this was the first time, and I suppose this is where my solo mission started coming into play, is that I was like, I love my reggae, soul, R&B music. So I got on the computer and Googled some venues to head out to, and the only thing I could find was this Bob Marley tribute bar in Universal Studios.
That's cool.
And so I was like, fuck it. Got myself ready, got dressed up, called a cab, got to Universal Studios, got to, there was all these different bars and stuff to choose from. I was sort of walking past. I was like, oh, do I go into the Bob Marley bar?
And you're, at this point, alone?
I'm on my own, dressed up. I was like, I'm going to go out, I'm going to drink, I'm going to have a great night, I'm going to go and dance.
Nobody in this town,
Nobody.
Basically.
I know no one.
Okay.
Absolutely no one.
Other than the 3 depressed Zumba circles.
Who weren't including me in anything, and were just making it quite difficult. I think I was so frustrated that I was like, you're not going to ruin it for me. I'm going to go make my own fun. And so I went to this Bob Marley tribute bar, and I, propped myself up at the bar. There was people in there eating food and
prior to this,
stuff.
You weren't social? Or
no,
you?
I've always been a social butterfly.
Okay.
Always been social, but I've never had to...
Social,
I've never had to... No, well, I've never had to do it solo, because...
Right, you always have friends. Everyone, I think I'm the same way. We always have
But
friends.
then again, I've travelled Europe and gone out on my own, gone out with random people that I barely know, and I just click with people, and I suppose trust people a little bit too much, and you can go and do that.
Well, hopefully you can read people.
Yeah, I can. Nothing.
Have you ever seen the movie Hostel? Or...
Shit.
I'm just saying.
I'm lucky. Let's just say I'm fortunate that nothing bad.
Because Americans, I know, get the most money for wanting to kill, and Australians, I don't know how they rate in there.
Yeah, just you haven't heard of half the Outback movies in Australia, and
I've seen a few. I've seen. Why is it that every Australian movie a car breaks down, and then people get killed? Mm-hmm. One of them included black sheep, like these killer sheep. And I don't know where that was filmed, but I saw that like late night, and it's just like, we could take a break. We could have like hair and makeup people.
It's hot.
Okay, let's get back on topic. I know you have like ADHD.
I do.
That's like
short attention span. So, Bob Marley bar, prop myself up. Talking to the bartenders, they're like, oh, you're here on your own, where you from, blah, blah, blah. So I was talking away to them, so it was kind of cool. They were just like watching out, making sure I was safe for the night. And I met this guy, Dan, who was a Jamaican dude, grew up in Brooklyn, came up and was having a chat or whatever, and the bartender was like, comes here all the time, he's a good dude, whatever. So he took me around Universal Studios and kind of looked after me, and then, I danced the night away.